What's up, you sweaty nerds and greasy degenerates? So we just got a news drop for Ruan Mei's signature light cone. We just got the light cone preview here, and the light cone is looking pretty darn good. I just did a video going over the light cone and the character preview, but I wanted to make a dedicated video here to address whether it is worth pulling for Ruan Mei's signature light cone or not, and kind of like go into more detail about the light cone in a dedicated video because the other one was already running very long. So let's just read the effects of the light cone here and take another look at Ruan Mei's light cone. I mean, dang, that's a good looking light cone. There's two Ruan Meis right there, and I learned in math class that 2 is better than 1. Anyways, speaking of math, we got the multipliers on the light cone here as per usual with any light cone reveal. It increases the wearer's break effect by 60%, and when the wearer uses their ultimate, it increases all allies' damage by 24%, lasting for 3 turns. Should the wearer's break effect exceed or equal 150%, 1 skill point will be recovered. During the start of every wave, all allies regenerate 10 energy. Effects of the same type cannot stack. So again, I mentioned this in the other video, but let's go ahead and take a look at another light cone that is also pretty good. For instance, this break effect is pretty good here that you get on her signature at 60%, but we have a free-to-play option right here with Memories of the Past that at Super Imposition 5 does give her 56% break effect already, and you also get every time she attacks, she regenerates 8 energy. So every time she hits her basic attack, she would generate 8 energy. Ruan Mei's skill does not deal damage, nor does her ultimate. Well, they can deal damage, but it's not considered an attack, if that makes any sense. So she will only get 8 energy back every time she uses her basic attack, but she's going to be using her basic attack more than she's going to be using anything else. So it is going to be more consistent for energy regen for her than her signature. But again, as mentioned in the other video as well, this 10 energy does go to all allies, which is very valuable. However, depending on how your team builds go, depending on how long it takes you to defeat entire waves of enemies, you're not going to get this 10 energy back as consistently as you would be with the Memories of the Past light cone. So just something to be aware of. This free-to-play option is actually more energy efficient than the signature, but the other, her signature's got a lot of bells and whistles and shiny golden paint on it, okay? There's a lot of good stuff here. For instance, again, as mentioned in the other video, when the wearer uses their ultimate, it increases all allies' damage by 24% for 3 turns. This is the best part of this light cone. This 3-turn buff. This is pretty much like... It's almost like you had another Harmony character besides Ruan Mei on the battlefield giving yet another buff to your allies, which is incredible. And it does go to all allies, including her, which is pretty darn solid. And when you do use her ultimate, she would gain 1 skill point back in most cases, because you should have a Ruan Mei that has over 150% break effect. In my build guide that I did literally yesterday, I told people they should aim for 180% break effect. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. So go check the pinned comment and description below for that build. In that same build guide, I also talked about how to potentially get a 3-turn ultimate or a 4-turn ultimate with an E0 Ruan Mei. So go check that out if you're interested in that. However, that math in that video was done using Memories of the Past and other light cones such as that. So some of the things I'm mentioning in this video are very similar to the last video I just put out, going over the character preview and the light cone. But let's talk about whether it is worth actually pulling this light cone or not. So because this break effect is pretty high, and because the best part of this light cone is actually this 24% lasting for 3 turns, you also can get skill point and efficiency coming back to you. The one downside on this light cone is the 10 energy regen is not as good as Memories of the Past would be. However, Ruan Mei's ult, like the effects of it, we in most cases can't actually keep up with it. So we do lose the buff a little bit, and we can make up for the energy that we would lose on Memories of the Past with Relics and still maintain 180% energy. So to be perfectly honest with you, if you can get this light cone, you can make up for that little bit of energy you would need to maintain a 3-turn ultimate, or at least a 4-turn ultimate with your Ruan Mei pretty easily, given the fact that she's going to be getting, we found out in the character preview, one of her traces, for example, gives you break effect. So you're gonna get a lot of break effect. You're gonna probably easily be able to get 180% break effect, and that means you may be able to afford using an energy regen rope or any other really good, let's say planar ornaments that can give you energy regeneration. Let's go take a quick look at that really quick. So you would be able to use, more than likely, if you have her built right, you would likely be able to use the Penacony planar set, which gives you 5 energy regen rate. You would also be able to use, where is it? Sprightly is another option. Also gives you 5% energy regen rate. And if you use the rope with an energy regen rope, of course, that combined with many other effects can give you a 3-turn ult, but it is like something that you just want to be aware of, that you would lose a lot of break effect. But as I said, she's going to be getting a trace that gives her break effect. She's also probably got some other effects giving her break effect that we might not necessarily be thinking of on paper very easily. So you might not necessarily need Memories of the Past to be able to keep a 3-turn or 4-turn ultimate active. And the buff that you get from Ruan Mei's signature is actually really, really good. This is the best part of this light cone, and this effect, this 24 extra damage lasting for 3 turns. Let's just take a quick peek. Yeah, let's go ahead. Just, no. Meshing cogs, no. I don't see any extra really solid damage. Dance, no. Memories of the Past, no. Break effect, but that's not going to get it done fully. Carve of the Moon is a pretty solid aid in damage, but it's not gonna be as good as her signature. And of course, Bronya's light cone gives you some energy regen rate and skill points energy, and it does give your main DPS a buff. But let's not forget that 30% for 1 turn is not as good as getting 24% or 3 turns. So as you might be able to tell, this light cone is absolutely busted. And even if you have to kind of like, I don't know what you'd want to say, settle for having to use a little bit harder of a build to be able to get a 3 or 4 turn ultimate going, sacrificing certain relics that you might have to use, it is worth it. It is worth putting in that extra effort in the build to be able to make this light cone work for you. So if you are able to, and if Ruan Mei is your girl, and you really want to build her, and you want to build her right, you're really into her, and you want to give her the best, you want to give her what she wants, give her the light cone. It's a damn good light cone, and it's going to work really, really well on her. This buff right here is nuts. You get some skill point efficiency too. You get some energy regen. So by the way, you don't necessarily have to put that much energy regen on her after losing Memories of the Past. You're still going to get some energy from her. It's just you can't calculate this very well because it's all dependent upon when you defeat waves. This is not something you can rely on super hard, but you know it's going to be coming through. And by the way, in 3 turns worth of combat, it's likely she gets hit 1 time anyways, and you're not going to worry about it because break effect builds typically have really good defense and HP, so you're okay with her getting hit. So to be honest, this light cone does not have a whole lot of downside. I wanted to point out the downsides that it has comparatively to Memories of the Past, and I want free-to-play players to understand Memories of the Past is cracked. It's insanely good for her. This is such a good free-to-play option, it's not even funny. Even at S1, you can still get a 4-turn ultimate with Ruan Mei with Memories of the Past. Again, check that pinned comment and description below for the build guide I put out yesterday. in order to be able to figure that out. So do not feel like you're settling for something bad by using Memories of the Past. You do not need her signature. But if you can get her signature and you're willing to go that route, this is a very good light cone. You will not be dissatisfied. This is a great light cone for Ruan Mei. Very, very good. So again, I've mentioned this so many different other times in other videos, but there's no such thing as a must pull in this game. You can always make it work with what you got available to you. There's always a workaround in most cases, but this is a very, very good light cone. So if you can get this, it is definitely worth it. But do not feel like you have to get it. Memories of the Past is a great option. This is not, I wouldn't consider this settling. I would consider this just making a tactical choice in saving some Jade instead of going for this. You will not get as much damage using Memories of the Past because it literally doesn't have any damage bonus, but it is still a very good light cone. So don't feel like you have to get her signature. Her other options are really good. Memories of the Past is solid. So if this video was helpful or informative in any way, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. And I'll see you in patch 1.6 with our Ruan Meis. Because you know, I'm going to be pulling on day 1, baby. Peace out.